to another episode of Community Live, and I'm so happy because I am with the tab trainers for tonight's episode. So
good evening.
Yes, and let's give it up for our tab trainers here in Cebu, Jhudiel, Aclao, and of course, Ralf Salamanca.
Hi to everyone who's we're watching our live right now.
Hello po, magandang gabi.
Right, and of course, you might be wondering what they are doing or what we will be discussing right now, and why we have a different setup than the other episodes that we have. It's because most of our applicants nowadays are having a hard time to ace or win the interview. So it's about time for us to help them and of course to teach them on how to pass the initial interview. And of course, it will be possible with the help of our tab trainers.
Yes.
So are you excited, guys? Are you excited to learn more on how to ace the interview?
Yes.
Of course, they're getting excited.
Watch out, and of course, stay tuned for more informative discussion later on.
Okay.
So, for the benefit of those who are watching right now who don't know you yet, guys, so please do introduce yourself.
Okay, start with me. Well, my name is Pepe Salamanca Jr. By the way, Ralf Salamanca is just my screen name. So when you search my FB account, of course in FB, you just have to search Ralf Salamanca. But my original name is Pepe Salamanca Jr. But you can call me Peps. I'm one of the tab trainers, and I'm here to, of course, have this kind of interview about the interview techniques or one of the guests. So I'm happy, and I hope that you will learn something from us. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jhudiel. I'm also one of the tab trainers, and I will be sharing the night with these two gorgeous ladies here.
Oh, really?
To share our insights about, about how to ace an interview.
Yes, no, and it's not their first time to be with you guys, so it's actually your third time here, right?
Yeah, I guess.
The first one was when you got on board.
True.
And then the second time when the two of you were the guests, right? And we sang along.
Yes, that is kind of a
karaoke together.
Yes.
We worked
and of
together.
course, for Peps, it's your second time.
Yeah, this is my second time.
Actually, he's anxious enough to be in front of the camera, and look at him right now. He looks so comfortable and confident.
As always.
As always.
Fake it till you make it,
Alright, so now, as what we have mentioned earlier, we'll be discussing about interview techniques, and of course, mangita pa ba taglain, diba? Of course, ato ta sa reliable and of course sa mga proven and tested yun kung kinsa ang dapat muhatag og mga interview techniques, because they've been in the industry, diba, for quite some time now, and they have experienced the ups and downs of the applicants.
That is so
true. So they know the strengths, the lowlights and the highlights of their trainees. So that's why we'll be discussing about how to ace an interview. So are you excited?
Yes!
Yeah.
Come on!
So now it's about time to show.
So
them.
where do we start?
Maybe let's have a question first. Like,
what's the question?
The question is, why do most of the applicants will not make it during the interview?
Correct. And during first days of training, I would always ask my applicants, especially katong mga walk-in applicants, the reason why they failed in an interview. And they actually say a lot of reasons. Number one is because gikulbaan. They're nervous.
Yes,
they're tense. And I think that's a pretty normal emotion that we feel every time we're interviewed. They get intimidated. That's number two. And they're number three, conscious. So those are three of the main reasons why most of the applicants applying for a job in the call center industry would fail in a particular interview because of those three factors.
And of course, not only in the call center industry, but of course
any kind of job.
Any kind of job in industry, right?
True.
And knowing that most of our applicants here in the call center industry are like high school graduates and don't have any experience yet in any job or work, so that's why those three factors would get really into into a consideration.
Correct.
Right?
Yes, correct.
Really affects.
And can you also include that, of course, applicants are not that ready?
Correct.
Of course. It's one of the factors as well.
And later on, we'll be discussing about
Yes,
it more on why they are not ready for that interview.
Okay.
And knowing it's quite ironic because you are applying for a job, but you are not ready for an interview.
Exactly.
Right? We need to look forward and we need to anticipate that any job that you are applying for, it has to be or it has initial interview.
Yes,
diba? As part of the process. Diba? So guys, it's about time for you to learn more about how to ace an interview. Diba?
Okay, so we have already cited the reasons or some of the main reasons why applicants would fail in an interview. This time, let's talk about the do's and don'ts during an interview. Of course, we start with the do's first during an interview. Okay, so here's number 1. So job interview strategies and techniques. So let's talk about the do's first. What's the first thing to do for you guys before I reveal the slide?
Based on my experience, because this is my first job, like I had my interview 6 years ago. So,
wow.
but I can still remember the day that I got into this this company. I researched about the company because it's very important for me to be ready. And knowing that before I graduated in high school, there are a lot of like seminars on how to prepare yourself for like a job, getting a job, or applying for a job. So I've learned it during the workshop. So I applied those learnings. So I researched about the company, about Qualfon, and then there you go. I can say that I am well equipped during the interview.
Okay, which leads us to the first do or the first thing to do during an interview. That's number 1. You have to do your research. Nano ka, Paps, that we have to do our research about the company?
Of course, some of the interviewers would actually ask about what have you known about the company? What do you know about the company? So, as an applicant, you should have a, just a little bit background about the company. No, kay when the the interviewer will ask you, dili ka maganga-nga, something like that. Okay, you will not stutter, so you will be spontaneous in answering the question. It will be easy for you if you will do your research about the company.
And at the same time, it will give the interviewer an impression that you are really interested.
That's correct. Yes, correct.
Because you've researched, you've exerted an effort on knowing more about the company, so it means that you are really interested for the job and for the company.
Correct. So that's the reason why we have to do our research about the company. And not just do your research about the company. Number 2 is you also have to do your research about the job. Okay, the job that you're applying for. Kung sige, applyan mo sa Qualfon as a call center agent, as a trainer, or what. So you have to do your research about the job. Because of course, you have to expect questions that are related to the job that you are applying for.
And knowing that there are questions that are situational or will be testing your skills. Diba?
True.
So at least you know the skills requirement for that.
Yes, so speaking of skills, you have to be suitable. So that's why you have to do research. Because if you don't know that kind of job description, then why you should apply for that kind of job then, right?
But most of the people would not do that.
Yeah, so much better if do research about the job description or something.
And a lot of applicants would have this particular technique. They memorize.
Oh, that I actually don't like
memorize
that.
the answers.
Right?
Yeah, it's kind of scripted. Correct.
So, do we recommend scripted answers?
No.
It's good that you rehearse, but do not memorize.
Correct.
Because I myself, I was a recruiter. I did interview before I was transferred to marketing. I can really sense and I can really detect that the person is memorizing his or her script during the interview.
Correct. Let me answer sa kanang question, but if you throw another question, mawala or why ma-answer at all because it's really obvious that the person was memorizing.
Yeah.
So
it's okay to prepare, right? It's okay to prepare, but do not memorize.
Yeah, just
Pointers lang siguro, diba? Pointers lang.
Correct.
And the last thing, or the last for the tip number 1 is, of course, do your research about the culture of the company.
Correct.
Right? So why is it important, Joha, para do research about the culture of the company?
For me, in the stage of researching for the company and the culture of the company is, you can gauge yourself if you are okay with their culture, if you are okay or fit for, not really fit, because in the sense of culture, every one of us can be fit, right?
Correct.
To a certain culture, but if it's your line, or if you are okay, fine with their culture, then of course you can say like, I will pursue in applying for that job or in that company.
Yeah, and at the same time, so to avoid this term, what we call culture shock.
Correct. Yes,
Diba?
culture
so
shock.
Ma-eliminate ang culture shock by doing your own research about the culture. So again, the first thing to do in an interview is you have to do your research about the company, about the job, and about the culture of the company.
And speaking of research, guys, you can actually comment down below any questions that are related to our topic for tonight, so that we can answer it. We can help you out with your questions. It's better to be interactive. And if you have any questions in mind right now, please do not hesitate to comment down below.
Yes, and we will help you giving answers to your questions.
Yes, so our trainers
Don't hesitate to ask us.
Okay, tip number 2, or the second thing to do during an interview is sakahan.
I don't know.
Number 2 is make a checklist. Okay, so what are the particular checklists that we should prepare before going in an interview? Number 1 is you have to plan the time you need to get there. So for example, Paps, akong interview 3 p.m., unsa pa oras dapat mo tunga?
Of course, it should come like 15 minutes before the time, or 30 minutes before the time, or make it an hour.
Dili pa din 3 sharp?
3 sharp? Well, it's okay, but now, to get rid of being late, then why not you have to, be there 15 minutes before the time.
And for me, to be in the interview venue on the exact time or on the dot will make you feel anxious more.
Exactly.
Why? Because you just arrive in the area, you don't have any blackpink in your area, diba? And you don't have any time to prepare yourself to go to the toilet, like retouch, diba?
Yes.
Knowing that we have 40 degrees Celsius heat index nowadays, diba?
Stay indoor, guys.
Makahaggard kaayo.
That is so true.
Diba? Makahaggard kaya mag-commute nowadays. So, better to be early, like 30 minutes or an hour before the interview, so that you can prepare yourself in the toilet.
Yes, you can
like
refresh.
Practice for the pointers during the interview, and of course, makichika po ka sa mga
co-applicants, correct?
Because you can learn about their experience, and at the same time, wata kay ba makajakpat kag co-applicant and na experience.
True, maka-ask pa ka. And to avoid as well, tension. Dapat you're already in the area or in the venue minutes before the agreed time, so that you won't be having any tension, or ma-settle down ka ba?
As well as you will know the process of the application process ahead of time, para maka, prepare ka. That's it.
And at the same time, it will diminish the impression of the interviewer late. Diba? Knowing that tardiness and attendance is very important. Bisag asa akong work, very important din na silang duha, tardiness and absenteeism. So at least, nana sila impression na, he's really interested of the job, because nana siya delay an hour or 30 minutes before the initial interview schedule. And at the same time, kung gini siya, kanang dili gini siya palalay. Diba, Hana?
First impression, that would, mean a big thing to your interviewer.
First impression lasts.
Okay, and the next one is you have to, of course, prepare what to wear. So what are the possible outfit for an interview?
Kanina siya number 1, guys. Dili na to over outfit ang interviewer. I-overdo. Kung ang interviewer kay nag-coat and tie, na ikaw kay nag-gown. Diba? So intimidating. So
true.
it's part of the tip number 1, which is do the research, di ba?
Yes.
You need to research kung ano sa ang usually nga pagsulobon sa mga interviewers.
Correct.
Based sa company or based sa industry. And of course, napod na siya sa kanang mga job postings nga.
Yes.
Di ba naman yung requirements usahay nga you can wear casual, smart casual,
some casual
business
attire, corporate attire, like that.
You need to be aware of that because
Correct.
there are certain industries that will require you to wear this kind of clothing.
Exactly.
Correct.
But for Qualfon na siguro.
Here at Qualfon, it's better to wear smart casual.
Smart
Right?
casual.
Like polo shirt or if dili lang tattered jeans, guys. Dili pud sleepers, no?
Yes.
As
avoid
much as
using
possible,
slippers.
pleasant ang imong aura.
Yeah. Smart. Yeah. Smart casual something.
Yeah, so not too formal lang.
Yeah, not too formal.
Okay. Alright, so that's good. The things or that's the dress or outfit nga be required.
At the same time, napansin siya, dress to impress.
Yeah.
Diba?
So meaning,
Not necessarily nga kanang grabe ka histrionic or kanang grabe kay ka kanang extravagant when you arrive in the area. It's such that need nga kanang ganing tanawon ka sa mga tao kan humot kay ka bisag wala ka gisimot.
True.
Kana siya
Ayaw
ma-aura.
kay exaggerate ang imong
Yeah.
fashion statement. Yeah.
As much as possible, clean lang, like,
Clean look.
clean look, kana siya.
Okay, so on sa itong term friend, dress
to impress.
Correct.
Remember that. Okay. Next is of course you have to bring your important documents.
Of
Such
course.
as what, Peps?
Resume.
Resume is number one.
Yes.
Ano sa pa dyan?
Of course, some important documents that that kind of company would really ask for. Sometimes they would really ask that you have to bring your IDs.
Yeah,
Yes.
same with Qualfon.
Yeah, same with Qualfon. Because you cannot enter the premises once you don't have the ID. So this is very important, guys. Whichever companies that you will go.
And of course, I have a very important tip to everyone. Like, before going to an interview or applying for a job, you need to make sure that you have already necessary government statutory documents.
Exactly.
That is
Right?
correct.
Because it's really a required and mandatory to the government nowadays na dapat before ka i-hire or before ka maka-start for your job, you need to have katong mga documents. But the good thing about now is that Qualfon can help you or assist you in getting for like mga numbers, PIN, as and whatnot. But it's better for you to have at least those kind of government numbers.
Okay, that is so correct. And another thing that is the most important is ball pen. Of course, because some of the like, if you will ask them if you will be signing or fill out some application forms, that you will need a ball pen. Mag-ask pa ka sa mga kanang interviewers like that. Can I have a ball pen or something for a moment? So dapat prepare ka, diba? Kay another impression na sa sigmingon ng mga interviewer nga, oh, you are not ready because you don't have a ball pen, like that.
Ballpen na ka,
Ballpen na judge na. Diba? First impression.
Correct.
And yeah, bring as well plenty of copies. Siguro sa mga NSO, dapat na enough number of photocopies, no?
Resume
para
first.
tayo, so yeah, resumes as well.
Just in case.
So that extra copy with you.
True.
But don't worry, here at Qualfon, if you don't have any resume available with you, we can provide a generic resume for you.
That is so correct.
So importante yun ang ballpen because you need to fill out that generic
resumes. Yeah.
Sige, pala yung ballpen, pwede na sa mo. Provide sa mo yung ballpen. Ang importante na ka.
Correct.
Yeah.
Your presence.
That is so love that. Yeah.
So, bring important documents and that document is yourself.
That's the
Bring
most
yourself.
important. Okay, so that's number 2, make a checklist. And the third one is, of course, this is very important, right? Be on time. So what is on time again, Peps? During our discussion, what's on time for us?
Well, for us, kung on time, if the interview would start at 3 p.m., then you would come at 3 p.m. as well.
You're already
on the place
where
the interview will be done.
So being on time means arriving minutes before the
so that's
time,
another
We follow the American time.
Yes, and what we've discussed earlier, 15 to 30 minutes. Diba?
Oh, that's
before the schedule. Diba? Before the schedule.
Okay, yes.
So again, on time, delay, the exact time ha? Most schedules, people come about that's already late. So dapat minutes.
Yeah,
before
15 minutes before the time.
And of course, when we say be on time, it means that you need to go there, right? If you have schedule, always remember to inform. If there are any emergencies, always inform the interviewer that you will not be on the venue, and you're not okay with the schedule. You can always inform them like mga 2 hours before. 2 hours before, not 30 minutes before the schedule.
Maybe they can actually, send a text or a message so that the interview will be, informed ahead of time as well.
And the good thing here at Qualfon, we can cater interviews through phone. Diba? Kaya social na ba ang Qualfon?
Yes.
So, we can do phone interviews. So, if you are interested for that, you can actually message us on our Facebook, Qualfon Cebu, so that we can conduct initial phone interview. Okay, so, and speaking of be on time for phone interview, if the interviewer will call you over the phone, please pick up the phone. Diba? If you missed it, you can send a text message or you can call the contact number.
A lot of my trainees before, tawagan sila through phone, but the number that we're using is a landline. So how can they send a text message if the one that we're using is a landline, and how will they be able to send a text message you have to call me again, like that.
Knowing that it's a digital world already, diba? So you can contact us through our Qualfon Cebu Facebook page.
Facebook pages.
So you can actually send us a message that you were the one who were being called earlier and you were not able to pick up the phone call. So if it's possible for us to call you, then you can actually send us a private message.
Okay, so again, arrive 10 to 15 minutes early and phone your employer should you run late for the interview. Because of course, dami mga factors nga dili nato ma-control, no? Circumstances beyond our control. So it's important for us to phone our employer.
Yeah,
if we will be running late just in case.
And again, sa Facebook, daghan na jud kayo ways on how to get the phone number of a specific company. Like for example, in Qualfon, you can actually search our phone number, cell phone numbers. Of course, every one of us has, I have the impression that every one of us has cell phones already, diba? So you can search up our phone number through Facebook page, our Facebook page.
So that's step number 3, be on time. The next one would be, okay, this one, like what we discussed earlier. Look better for you to feel better. It's
another way, dress to impress. It's a part of being a look better, feel better, and also, you feel like always confident when you step into the premises or to the venue. Then you look like very smart. You have this appeal, no? Kaya para ma-impress ang interviewer.
Correct. And it will help you become more confident.
True.
If you think that you look better with your outfit, right?
Correct. Yeah, be comfortable, diba? Be comfortable with your outfit, and at the same time, if you have achieved from 1 to 3, tip number 1 to 3, then of course you will be relieved, diba? Once you go for an interview, kay prepared naman ka. No need to be anxious and to be worried of kung sa pa'y kuwang nimo and whatnot, because complete naman, of course. So during the interview, you will be comfortable and you will be confident.
Yes.
Okay, so again, keep it clean and simple and don't overdo it, like what we said earlier. Okay, so number 4, that's number 5. Tip number 5 is you have to show enthusiasm and positivity.
Pwede ta mag-plastic ka na eh.
It's all a good show,
like, it will just act naturally.
Sure.
Just act naturally.
It always begins with a smile.
Yes.
You have to smile to every people you encounter.
And start with saying good morning to the guard.
Exactly.
Yes, first.
Kay my experience, like knowing that the traffic, ang kainit, diba, in commuting, it will give us a headache, diba? And once we go to the place, to the interview place, of course, nag-GGV na kayo diba?
Correct.
So, by just saying good morning to everyone that you meet, then it will give you a relief. Diba?
Correct.
And at the same time, diba, 10 to 15 minutes before the schedule, you can go to the toilet, and of course, you can look at the mirror and look at your reflection and say that you can do it. Good morning, you're beautiful.
True.
You can do like mga positive mga kind of conditioning.
Yes. Actually, once you wake up in the morning, since that you will have interview, then you have this mindset that I can do this. I am the best. Oh, God is with me, Anna. I can pass the exam. I can pass the interview and have the job like that. So those are the positivity words or phrases that you have to inculcate into your mind.
Inculcate.
Okay. So again, greet staffs or assistants with courtesy and respect. Bisag si ating janitor, great.
Yeah,
diba?
True.
So everyone is fair here in our company.
And I have here a very important tip for you guys. Establish eye contact, diba? I know that it's very awkward for you to like mag-eye contact, eye to eye sa interviewer.
Sure.
Kita mo aning center sa eyebrow. You can actually look at that and nana siya illusion sa interviewer nga nitanaw jud kaniya. Even though nga nitanaw ra ka diri sa upper part sa eyebrow.
So it's really important for us to establish eye contact with the person we're speaking with because it shows, number one, sincerity, right?
True.
And interest as well in talking with that particular person. So eye contact is really a must when you're speaking with the person during an interview.
Yes. And of course, there are non-verbal gestures that the interviewer can detect if you're lying or not.
Oh yes, and also you are not confident because of your gesture, okay?
So that's why you need to show enthusiasm.
Yes, correct. Yeah, with just normal tone of voice when you answer the questions. Don't be too perky, no? Okay, sometimes some of the applicants would really have this big voice. Like, alright, so
Big message.
Oh, okay. So just a normal tone of voice
yeah.
that the interviewers would really love to listen. So that's it, no? Show enthusiasm.
Okay, so I think we've discussed enough about that.
Okay.
Let's have this one, number 6. Make a good impression. Now, how do we make a good impression during an interview? So here are the things that you should do. Okay, number 1 is you have to shake hands firmly when you were introduced to someone. Right? So by shaking the hands, you're making a good impression already.
Yes,
right?
it's actually showing respect, I think, and also
acknowledging the person's
courtesy. Yes.
Yeah. And the second one would be, of course, when you're sitting, you have to sit upright.
No slouching.
No slouching if possible.
Yes.
Okay. So dapat you have to sit upright and
Correct.
avoid slouching. The third one is, of course, you have to smile.
Smile.
Again, that's the best thing that you can wear. Aside from your fancy look, the most important is, of course, wearing your smile.
True.
Because a smile handy. How do you smile?
Because smile can really beautify the world.
Yes.
Aww.
And at the same time, I have one additional here.
Yeah.
You need to remember the name of your interviewer, and you need to also know how to address your interviewer.
Exactly.
That is so correct.
Because it
From
means
the very beginning.
you give respect to your interviewers.
Exactly.
So if you forgot about his or her name, then you can say Miss, Ma'am, or Sir.
That's correct.
But it would be better siguro if Miss and then with a name, no? Miss Hannah or Sir Pat, just para more comfortable kasi you have
Proper way in addressing.
And at the same time,
people.
it will show your attentiveness during the interview.
Correct.
So scale na siya, guys.
Yes.
Okay, and this is also very important. Tip number 7, you have to listen attentively. Now, how do we listen attentively?
What do you think?
Okay, so here, listen with non-verbal expressions.
Back
So
to
like
you.
what Juma said earlier, so listen with non-verbal expressions. So these are expressions that are not said verbally, like the nodding, diba? Wala ka nagstorya, but when you nod, it means that you're It's affirmative, right?
That's
Nothing.
affirmative.
And this one shaking like that. So we're interpret mo as wala siya kauyon and all.
And at the same time, dili mo ta sige nod hanga bisag ni question ng interviewer ano gyud ka. Diba? So of course, if mag-story ang interviewer, you can do nodding, but if he asks you for something, then you need to answer the question.
That's correct.
Okay.
And listen.
And the next one would be, hindi na siya gumagana. Okay, listen until the speaker is done. Okay?
Correct.
Do not interrupt. So give your interviewer time to speak, especially when he or she is giving a feedback during the interview, and try not to interrupt.
Just
okay?
do not intervene.
Because intervening would would be a sign of disrespect.
That is so correct.
Okay. So let's listen attentively. The number, the eighth one, or tip number 8, is sell yourself.
Correct.
Big word. How do we sell ourselves during an interview?
I'm $100.
How do we sell ourselves, Sir Paps? Sell yourself.
It's like persuading persuading the interviewer that they can really get some benefits from you, and aside from that, you get as an applicant you can get benefits from the company. So it's like win-to-win situation. Win-to-win scenario.
Okay. So imagine that you are the product. Okay, give your interviewer or give the company a reason to buy you.
Yes.
Not literally buy you, mapaliton ka, but to hire you. Okay?
Correct.
And focus on what you can do for the company rather than what the company can do for you.
Correct.
Diba? So don't be so selfish. Mga-apply ka because nindot dre and all. So focus first on what can you contribute to the company. And stress out your achievements and accomplishments. Okay?
Did stress, huh?
Sorry about that. You have to
emphasize.
Stress out your achievements and your accomplishments in life.
But not in a kanang koan, dili in a boast
bragging way.
Yeah.
True.
Like
It's kind of different.
humility should be there. Yeah.
It's part of our
Reasons or most of the applicants would fail again, not because this lang mo in English, but because walay confidence when they speak. Okay?
True.
So confidence is very important in order for us to win or to ace an interview.
No, so
and also try to answer the question in a simple way para di pud ka maglisod, no? Okay.
Ayaw ba niyo ka ng over sa
Hi, thank you for that wonderful question. I believe that.
True. So just make it simple lang.
Himonas Miss Universe ang interview.
Alright, so number 9 is you have to be open for feedback.
Yes, constructive criticism.
So expect that after your conversation, na both positive and negative feedback na ihatag sa imuha. Don't just be open to listening to the positive ones, but you also have to be open to listening to the negative ones. Because those are the things that you can use in order for you to improve and become better on your next interview.
Grab it as an opportunity.
It would be boring if you're too perfect.
True.
So
and
every one of us,
nobody's perfect. So
and every one of us has a lot of things to improve. It's better to learn every day. Kaysa na sa ceiling point.
Yeah. So listen to positive and negative and take the advice, of course, to improve on your next interview.
And mubalik ka sa tip nga number 7, listen attentively during the feedback.
Correct.
Because it will help you.
Correct.
And it's a no-no for you to defend yourself, okay? So
but you can ask questions.
Correct. Clarify lang, but not defend. Totally, right?
Do not be too defensive.
Exactly.
Dili parehas anang mutax ng ganyan mong uyang pumasa ka, nagantaas na kayong kanang i-message na.
Si Hana ko rin na. Alright, so don't be defensive word na.
And always remember all the advices para po ma-apply mo on your next interview.
Yes.
True, exactly. And of course, do not forget to thank.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for this interview.
Right? So you always have to say thank you to the employer. Regardless if na-hire ka or wala, always say thank you. Okay? Because that's a learning experience na mong magamit.
Correct.
Alright, so that's number 9. Now, we're done with the do's during an interview. So let's talk about the don'ts first. Do we still have time? So let's talk about the don'ts during an interview. Okay? So what are the things that we should not do during an interview? Okay? Here's number 1. don't talk negative things or negative impressions about your past employers.
Do not condemn, guys. Do not condemn. That's number one rule, because it will give you and it will give the interviewers the impression na once resigns ka sa current ng mga employer, then you will also do that.
Yes.
Correct. And possible na less na hinunin mong chance na ma-hire.
True.
So as much as possible, lamin mo nang gihapon yung pag-reason out, right?
At the same time, the company has given you so much. Like, if you are going to weigh it, mas dagan ang mga benefits na gihatag sa imo nga, more than the bad things that happened to you when you were employed in that company. Diba? So, of course, the company has given you so much, and at the same time, if you think that you have given so much to the company as well, then you need to be thankful as well because you've grown so much professionally.
Correct.
Yes. Okay, the next one is don't talk too much. So dapat gusto niya pero i-hardin ko. So it's not like that, okay?
Correct.
So don't talk too much because too much is also not good, right?
Correct. Yeah, some of the questions you just have to answer it directly or precise. Because the interviewers will just let know some personal questions naman po or personal information about you.
And the worst thing that might happen is that may rita na hinuon ng recruiter ang interviewer.
One experience that I had before when I was an interviewer, I asked him, "What is your highest educational attainment?" And he answered me, "My elementary school was." So I asked about highest educational attainment. So you need to make sure that your answer should be your highest educational attainment.
Yes.
Strict always, Sir Joe.
Not really, because again, that's our tip number 7. You need to listen attentively.
Exactly.
And somehow we also advise our trainees when it comes to answering a question. Focus to the question, okay? So if you answer the question, if you will give explanation, your explanation should relate to your answer, like that. If you will give examples, your example should relate to your answer.
Don't go too far.
Don't go too far.
Okay, and here's a no-no again. Never show up late.
Correct.
As much as possible, always be on time because again, you will make an impression. Okay, attending or going to the schedule on time is already a good impression. If
punctuality is a must.
Bati na dayon ang impression.
Correct.
Right? And of course, don't do this during an interview, guys. Do not drink, nor eat, or chew gum. Ano man? What's the meaning if we drink and eat?
No respect.
Yeah, no respect.
Disrespect ay. Labi na, if nadyo mga tao nung hindi kayo magsig-ugom o gum, chewing gum, so if interviewon ka, ayaw in town pag sigig-usap, baka kanding. Okay, so don't eat or chew gum, alright? And here are some other don'ts during an interview. Perhaps can you please read?
Don't be soft-spoken and speak clearly and project confidence and preparation.
Correct. When we say soft-spoken, ano say pasabot ana? So, meaning, kanang mga
Dili lang niya.
Right?
The voice too soft, not soft voice guys.
Hinay, at the same time lang niya.
True.
Number na ko sa kuwan sa I forgot the name of the movie. Katong insect nga kanang dili siya mo storya sa katong acapella nga kind of kuan ba? Yeah,
Pitch Perfect. Okay.
Pitch Perfect.
Okay, ano dito siya?
Kanang nasa like katong spokes. Dili siya soft spoken
True.
Oo, diba? So if
So
you can remember her.
So you have to project confidence because speaking with a very soft-spoken voice would mean that you have no confidence at all.
Correct.
So try to speak with confidence and project.
And also, the interviewer can hear you properly.
And at the same time, confidence can reveal your conviction.
Exactly.
That's correct. Conviction.
Okay. Next, don't answer with just a simple yes or no. So
yes.
possible nga mahatag na input, then that would be
because
better.
I think that interviewers, all of their questions I think are open-ended questions. So you will have to express your opinions or ideas about the question, not just to say yes or no. Not unless if the interviewer will say do you like banana? Okay, you can say yes.
But again, you can clear out. Diba?
Yes, clear out
can,
why.
Stress out your
Yes.
answer. Diba?
Why
you
banana?
love banana.
True.
Provide a little explanation.
So do you love bananas?
Of course, I like bananas. Because it's rich in potassium. That is good
for the
body, of course.
Okay. Okay, next. Don't bring up personal issues or problems.
Yeah.
This is not MMK, guys.
True.
Dili charity nyo hang i-apply yan. So, don't bring up your problems. A lot of people would, have this in mind, guys. If imo ko nang stress out mong problems sa life, mas na ko na yung chance nga ma-hire ka. Like, maluoy ba nun? Or gamitan yung mga kaluing aside? Well, you can actually, so long as you're not overusing it lang siguro, right? So, try not to bring up your personal problems and issues because yun yung kasi mga recruiter, kitang tanan na yung problema. Okay? So, just try not to.
Okay? Diba, as you said before now, we have this kind of vulnerable part of our life. But during the interview, please, ayaw, do not bring up any personal
Not unless if nakasawawin.
True. Of course, 5,000 right away.
Kung ilang nakasawawin na nakikwarta.
True.
Correct?
But then again, there are a lot of people who can actually listen to you when it comes to your personal issues and problems. So you can stress it. I myself is a mental health advocate, but during the interview, as much as possible, you can. It's there are no like kind of mga kwan, Hindi man siya ingon nga don't dictation.
Sure.
Because as an interviewer, since most of the interviewers are psychology graduates, so they have this empathy towards the applicant. But then again, not the entire duration of the interview, what is your personal problems?
Correct.
Instead, use your problems as your motivation.
Yes,
true.
I want to work because I want to help my family because my family is struggling right now. Dili kay himoni mo siya knowing na murag kaluy anak. Instead, use that as a motivation.
And at the same time, naman sa mga questions good na makapabring up sa mga personal problems and issues.
Correct.
So there are times that we can tackle that during the interview, but again, as much as possible, do not overdo it.
Yes, as much as possible, try to get rid of it.
Okay. This one, same thing. You have to really sit upright. Don't fidget or slouch during an interview, especially when you're sitting down now. Okay, and of course, don't ask your interviewers some personal
questions. Like,
are you single?
I
have a question. Yes.
Right. So try not to, because again, that's not a personal life we're talking about.
But you can ask any questions that are related to your job, that are related to the position you're applying for, and of course about the company.
Okay, so I guess that's it. So if you have questions, again, feel free to leave a comment on the Facebook page so that we will be able to answer your questions and pong ma-discuss a little.
Yes, and we have here some comments, so let's take a quick break, and reading our comments. So Edward Desondra, hello Kuya Ed.
Hi.
Sawadi.
Yes. Where's E? Za Maka-proud. Shout out po mga idol.
Okay. Hi to you, of course. Thank you for watching.
And of course, we have here Chris Garcia, Coach Peps, and Teacher Jude.
Hi.
Yes, hi.
Chris Garcia.
Hi, Teacher Chris.
Sawadi ka.
And we have here Rafael Vincent Imperial. Pa-shout out naman po Ate Alay.
Hi po, Bash Rafa.
Yes, hi Rafa.
Kailan ka Rafa, di ba?
Yeah.
And we have here Jeffrey Eploy. Is this his name? Mao di ay di ko kasod kay wala sa tugma akong tubag. Taas pero way unod.
I know.
Yeah. It's very important now nga. It should be concise and at the same time
concise.
Concise and at the same time related siya sa question.
Of course.
So, labi na mga rehearse, di ba? Layo na kayo sa question. And Ruby Habayhay watching from Talamban.
Wow! Hi to you guys! Thank you for watching!
Yes, hi Nidia sa Talamban!
Yes, okay.
And of course, Ruru Yanita is watching right now. Hi,
Yes.
baby.
Also my friends from Labangon, of course, Salvador Extension. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, atong overall thoughts during the interview, atong mahatag sa atong mga viewers. So,
True.
start with Paps.
Of course, first is I think we really have to be confident in every interview that we're going through because it's totally important. I mean, it's, the essence of the interview as well.
And in the corporate world, guys, interviews are really necessary, and speaking in English is always a must.
True.
Siguro, if you want to be professional enough, there has to be enough knowledge in speaking in English because that's really part of the job description, diba?
Correct.
Whatever job, dili lang pang call center, interviews would always be, done in English.
Yes.
So it's really important for us to at least, master speaking.
You do not speak in vernacular.
You don't know it.
You don't know it. So if you want to improve your English speaking skills, then enroll now in TAB.
Ayaw kahadlok sa interview. Atong mga recruiters sa Qualfon, very friendly, approachable,
and
smiling.
beautiful.
Mga single pa sada sila.
Beautiful.
Okay, and
Beautiful, one handsome.
Beautiful.
Of course, yes. Everyone is open for TAB. Okay, so if you want to apply or if you want to enroll in our institute, TAB Institute, then
so you may just go here directly sa atong company and ask more about TAB.
Correct. And Jhudiel here, and of course Peppa, will love to accommodate you.
Correct. So we're going to talk.
So dili mahadlok if mahadlok sa interview, it's not yet the end of the road for you. We have here TAB trainers, and TAB Institute is here to help you out and boost your confidence. And
Because
of
you
course,
deserve second chance.
yes,
Correct.
everyone deserves a second chance, sabi nga nila.
And of course, my wrap up about the discussion is that aside from your speaking skills and at the same time your confidence, it's very important that you yourself is well prepared for the interview.
Right.
Diba? Because if you are well prepared, then it will lessen and diminish your anxiety and your worriness. Diba?
Right.
Because if you are confident and comfortable with your future application, then your speaking skills and of course your confidence will go a long way.
Correct.
Big word.
It's a big word.
Okay. Sana lagi na siya, applying and seeking for a job is never easy. Right? Wala trabaho nga sa'yo and all. It really requires us to exert effort and hard work. So do not expect it will be that easy. Applying for a call center job is that easy because you have to undergo different processes.
Yes. And we did so much talking, so it's about time for us to share our interview experiences. Like kita mismo ang interview. So can you share to the public so that they have an idea on how you really get your job by passing the initial interview?
Me, during the interview, no.
Ganda lang.
Kana, masama na.
My experience when it comes to the interview, I really have to focus should go sa question so that I can answer it well. The interviewer would really understand me, so he or she can really get the point of what I'm talking. So it's really important for you to be focused when it comes to answering the question. So muna ko experience, you really have to focus so that the interviewer would really think that you are really ready. Okay. Yeah. You are really suitable for the job, like that. So that's why I'm here.
Congratulations!
Okay.
How about you, Fran?
Believe me or not, na-apply ko tulo ka BPO industries before and I failed. It was such a good learning experience. I did not consider that as a down moment. Rather, I considered that as a very great learning experience.
True.
Because I actually learned a lot from the 3 people or from the 3 recruiters who did my interview. And I applied, I listened the whole part, I accepted their comments. Nakulbaan sa kwato like you, so it's really normal. And look at where am I now. So it's really a matter of getting or taking it seriously and applying it, the practice and all for me to be better And luckily, I'm able to pass my interview here in Qualfon.
True.
And it was never easy yet. It was never easy.
Correct.
Mag-doubt kasi mong self and all, but you just have to believe.
Get
True.
off the bus stand and move forward.
True. I love it.
Words from Joe.
Come on.
I myself, my experience here at Qualfon is I applied first as an agent, but unfortunately back then, like 6 years ago, Qualfon's qualifications was you need to be at least first year college or first year college level, and I was only high school graduate. So I was not qualified, and my bad for that because I did not research about the company. That's why I went here without knowing that I am not qualified. So during the interview, I was told by the recruitment officer now, Sir Joey, that I am not qualified. Fortunately, there was a certain position that is or that can accommodate or that could accommodate senior high school graduate, and it would be part of the talent acquisition team or the recruitment team, and that's the career ambassador or promodizer. So I grabbed that opportunity, and I underwent an interview for that. I was asked about what would be your if you will be given a quota on a specific day, what would it be? So I myself, I need to sell myself during the interview. So I told them I can gather 100 people. 100 people. And I was like, perfect, because that's the requirements. So I get it right. And from that experience being a promodizer, I evolve and I enhance. I help myself to develop my skills and my potentials. So I've learned so much in the company, of course, Qualfon. And then along the way, as I tried the interview for my promotion of becoming marketing officer, I applied my learnings. I have actually a formula during the interview, so that it can prepare myself for on constructing a good sentence, and at the same time in helping me organizing my thought. Kay mamo dyan may problema sa usa ka interviewee or applicant. Ang org thought gid niya, diba? Bisag tungod sa kakulba,
thought organization.
Diba? Bisag asa ilabay ang iyang answer, diba? Nasa aning nga thought, then mukalit lang siya jump into another
topic.
Another topic. So, can I borrow this one?
Diba?
So my formula is this one actually. Prep. Diba? So short for preparation. Diba? P is for point. Actually, it's from the word it's a point. So answer directly the question. Like for example, would you agree that that you are beautiful? So answer the point. Yes, I am beautiful. The next is your reason. So what's the reason of your answer? The next to that is very important. Example or your experience.
Okay.
This is so important because there are a lot of questions like situational situations like questions like how do you handle difficult people? So make your point like I handle them with patience, diba? And at the same time talking to them and making them understand the process, and then the reason because that's part of the job, and at the same time it will help you make the negotiation and the conversation go smooth. And then like for example, my own experience back then, diba? When I have a classmate who is who had this kind of attitude, na dili approachable. So what I did to manage him or to manage the situation, money shine and everything, and then go back and conclude your answer with another point. Go back to your point. So and that's the reason why
I agree
that I agreed about this one, that I am beautiful.
That's so true.
This is actually very useful, no?
Short lang siya pero concise na yung unod.
Correct.
So remember this one, guys. Prep. If it's very handful, and at the same time, it's very helpful for you guys. Kaya knowing that, kay bawang kita sa, aware man kita sa atong self, there are times nga, bisag asa ta, ang atong thought, bisag asa mapunta. So, with this kind of formula, murag math yun nga, bisag unsa pa nakadlisod ang usa ka item. If you know the formula, then you can get the correct answer.
Yes, you will arrive the correct answer.
And more of these, tips about thought word when you join us in our tab training.
Correct. We have some techniques and tips on how to answer a question and organizing your thoughts. So be one of the tab trainees.
Yeah.
Diba? So join tab and of course join Qualfon. Diba?
Correct.
If wala may time to visit Qualfon, then you can actually reach us on our Facebook page. We have Tab Institute or our Facebook account, Tab Trainers. So both are active. All you need to do is to send us a message, okay? Showing your interest.
Or Qualfon Cebu. Diba?
Or go directly to our site.
And also you can see our latest photos, the latest announcement about tabs. You just have to visit our website. I mean, our
pages,
yes, fan page.
And speaking of Tab Cebu will be coming to Mindanao this coming October.
Mindanao?
Yes, Mindanao.
When?
So we'll be going to Oroqueta, Tagog,
correct.
and of course Ozamis, diba? So makita-kita ta dito mga taga Mindanao for our Tab Caravan.
See you there.
And follow
Mindanao
Qualfon Cebu Facebook page for more details about our Mindanao Tab Caravan. Diba? So we are so excited to bring more job opportunities to your hometown.
Wow.
It's part of our mission.
So kita lagi mo ato, no?
Kami na ginang mo ato ninyo guys.
So you want to make it easier for you guys. So kami na mo visit sa inyong place.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much
for
thank you.
Diba? Practice din tayo. Thank you so much for gracing the show. Knowing that it's so impromptu, diba? Like
so
short notice vacation, but
like
here you are, diba? Discussing about this one, helping our audiences on how to win the interview. So I hope that we were able to share some knowledge for you guys to prepare yourself for your interview soon. For your interview here at Qualfon.
Yes, exactly.
So, thank you so much for watching as well. And magkita-kita ta for another episode of Qmmunity Live next week, Friday. And again, please be reminded that you can follow our Qualfon Cebu Facebook page for more details of our current promos and recruitment activities.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of the night, and of course, spend your weekend nicely with your family, loved ones, and all. And always remember that it's always good to be nice.
Yes.
Of course.
So this has been your host, Jhudiel. Remember to be the best because you are the best. Thank you everyone and good night.
Make your
Bye-bye.
mama proud.